Apparently something did not work in our system today, so I could not get your assignment today. But I'll check again tomorrow or something if it works, okay? So don't worry. All right. Let's start with our practice writing from last time. So let's do a quick review. Since Jana said we went too fast last time. Writing. So last time we discussed a process. Laptop. Okay. Okay. We discussed a process paragraph. So what have you got from last session?
What is process paragraph?
Okay. What is it? What's the function of this paragraph?
Like it use transition. Right?
Okay. To tell the steps or tips of how to do
something.
Okay. What kind of transition? We normally use order or sequence transition signals. Like first, second, blah, blah, blah. Anything else to add? What kind of topic sentence or supporting sentences do we have? If you want to tell people how to make pancake, first, blah, 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 blah. Remember that kind of sentence that you don't need subjects?
Imperative.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll put this here. So verb. No subject. Anything else about process paragraph from last week? Last week, Tuesday. Including sentences can be about maybe encouragement.
Recommendation.
Anything else?
Also summarized.
Summary. Okay, so who wants to show your writing first? Yana or May? The interview, what to do and what not to do.
It's up to you, teacher.
Let's say the pro first then. Let's see May first because it's what to do and then what not to do later. You asked me to choose. May, please share your screen on. Okay. And you send. You can send that to me later because right now it's not working. There's no need. It's fine. Take your time. Don't rush. It's outside, I think. How to succeed earlier. Yeah, number one maybe.
What topic?
How to succeed the interview. Succeed in the interview. We had brainstorm in our book already. All right, full screen so we can post. See, Yana and I can see. Okay, let's do Yana.
Is it full now?
All clear now. Thank you very much. So interviewing might sound frightening.
So it's like that.
It's okay. Okay.
Hello?
Huh?
Oh. You want me to read?
No. Read this silently so we can give comments. Mhm.
So,
Huh? What's wrong? Let us read first before we start commenting on your writing. Mhm. Done, Yana, want to say something? Any comments? First of all, how is main idea flow? Remember in our first reading, flow of idea, chain, connection. How is it?
I think yes, it is connected.
Connected, thank you. Are all the sentences about the same topic succeeding in the interview? Like not one sentence is out of topic, right? Everything is about the same topic.
Yes.
Okay. Any problems you want to point out?
Like, can you explain, like, you might not want to know if you're late for the interview, like that sentence?
Yeah, that's a sentence that I was confused. So, because you said be punctual, but then you might not want to know if you are late. What do you mean by that?
it's like you asking me, right?
Uh-huh. Writer.
You might not want to know if you are right to. It's like expressing doubting, but also warning too.
You might say you might not want to know what happens. You miss one thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Good. So it's like a warning, and it's just like you don't want to know that it might be very deadly or it might be very terrible. So you might not. What happens? Very good. Uh-huh. Anything else, Yana, before I start?
Um, Positive, your positivity towards everyone, and then comma, and then end. So should we put?
oh,
Is it okay to put
come on.
the comma, because
Yes,
the
yes,
sentence
that's
is not
okay.
complete?
That's
It is
okay.
okay.
That is because it's imperative sentence, so both are sentences. But we have one problem because Ming said that be positive, but then you also said be easygoing. So it's like another main idea, right? Because be positive, like you want to keep your chin up and maintain eye contact. What do you mean by maintain? Always maintain or keep your chin up. So maintain your chin. Maintain eye contact, right?
No, where is it right now? Maintains.
Yes.
I just want to add more word like maintain and keep up. It's mean the same, right?
No. Because
Can't use it.
keep your chin up is different from maintain your chin up, or keep your chin up is the expression.
Yes.
So do you think keeping your chin up express your positivity?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because keep your chin up might be another main idea. Be careful about that. But very good. Anything else, Yana?
Maybe no.
Okay.
She already
How
correct.
how is his writing overall? Or any overall comments? Like what do you think about this? Did
Acceptable.
acceptable. Did May follow every instructions we gave him? Like topic sentence should be this, supporting sentences should be about that, concluding should be about that. Did he follow everything?
Yes.
Oh yes, very good. Thank you very much. To me, Main's writing is very good. Like you had a very interesting introduction. The topic sentence, it's not too simple, so nicely done. And concluding as well, it's done very nicely. Like you want to encourage them and want to like recommend that they should follow your tips and they will achieve their dream jobs. Even though we have some slight problems, for example, where is it? It won't be impossible. The ways or the way or how many ways. It's just something simple, like small, small. In your topic sentence, it won't be possible if we know the way to deal with it. Should we put way or ways? Change one on
Ways.
Okay. First, be prepared. Nice.
It's not correct yet. I mean, the other file is corrected already.
Why did you show us the other file?
Yeah, the first draft.
Okay. So expecting or guessing questions that the interview would ask you and arrange your best answer for those questions will impress. Very good. Next, be punctual. Okay, for the interview, so try to come early in order, or not in other, in order. Point number 3, next, be punctual in other. Down, down. Yep, further, front, 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 front. Go to your right.
My right.
Yes.
In order.
In order, yeah, order, not other.
Wrong at the.
Okay. How is for order?
O-R-D.
Very good. To loosen your stress. Are you sure this is loosen your stress? So we don't use the verb loosen with stress on. We use something else.
Reduce right.
And be accustomed to the place to make yourself more relaxed. Finally, stay positive during interviewing or during the interview. What is the noun? Do you mean the process or the actual interview?
The actual interview. I mean the same, right?
It's a little different. Or when you use Duran as a noun, you refer to the process, not the whole thing.
Yes.
Like the interview went well.
In the situation interviewing.
So we use noun, interview.
During interview.
During the interview on. Yes. Always keep the chin up to express your positivity toward everyone and be easygoing for whatever the interviewer says, says, or expresses any idea down there. Yeah. Where is another verb to be? You can. Do we say I going to school or I am going to school?
I'm going to school.
So this one, what the interview is saying or says, choose one. An interviewer, one person, should we put singular verb? Very good. One last thing, the verb succeed, you need preposition in after it. Succeed in something, yes. So after all, here are the 3 tips to succeed in interview, which are very effective for you to achieve a dream job. Very good.
Once again, teacher, interview, if I refer to the processing.
You put ing, the action of that happening. Like acting and action, both are different.
So, what is the difference between those? In both of them?
Normally a noun that has gerund, like you convert verb by adding ing and make it become a noun. Normally that noun express action, like the guessing of something, for example, or the guess of something. They are different. Like for example, studying English, my studying and my study, they are slightly different because when you say my studying, you mean the process of you studying. like how you do your homework. For example, you do this in the morning, stuff like that. But my study, you refer to the whole thing, not the process of it. Like how is your study? It when it's going well. How's your studying? It's going well. Both are slightly different.
So
But
the
both
activity is more specific, right?
there's no but it has a slight difference in meaning on. If you use ing, mostly it's the process of that happening, the action of that going on happening. Traveling, travel, both are a little different. See, mostly ing, you try to like inject the meaning that you are focusing on the process or what is going on, like the action of that noun happening. You use ing. The difference is very small because sometimes you need to add ing to make it a noun. Like for example, here on top you said interviewing. See, you don't say interview. Why? Your introduction. Interviewing might sound frightening. So why did you say interviewing? And down here you said succeed in the interview. So what was your reason to use interviewing on top, interview down here?
This interviewing refer to the action.
Like you go in there, you are interviewed, so interviewing.
Talking about
And this one, you just refer to the whole thing, like about the interview in general.
general.
It's very small, the difference. You just need to take note a little bit. All right, let's go to Yana. Thank you very much. Please send the final draft to me, okay?
I already sent it.
Okay, in my class, right?
Yes.
Good. I'll check if it works tomorrow. For now, it's not working. Let's see what not to do by
Okay.
Miss Yana.
Please wait. Please wait.
Yana. Where you study French in university as well, right? UHS, extra course French.
Yes. So I quit.
Why?
I'm not enjoy studying it.
But don't you need French for your course or your major?
I also we also have English too.
So you chose English.
That doesn't mean that I don't know French, but I can read it. I can understand.
I hate French grammar so much.
So complicated.
Like parfait, parfait, stuff like that. Like the conversion of verbs is crazy. Like you change this, you add something in front, you add something after that. It's just complicated, so I quit as well. Ready, Yane? Before May and I start speaking French.
Can you see it?
Yes. It's pretty long. May, let's enjoy this together. Nailing you. Almost done, on?
Yes.
Okay.
Done.
What do you think? Start your comments and feedbacks.
I mean, her structure she using structure very well, and it also connected to. And I find no mistakes. I already correct her.
Okay, no mistake. What do you think of her topic sentence?
The topic sentence. Interested?
Interesting. And her conclusion?
Okay. Good.
Good.
I touched.
That's okay. Anything you want to ask Yana? Like you're not clear on that point or something, or you understand everything already from her writing? Like she explains things clearly already.
I think it's okay. I already checked that.
Very good. Thank you very much, mate. All right. So Yana's writing is very detailed. Like she had more than one line of explanation for her each main idea. So it seems long, but it's just her explanation that adds an extra points to what she wants to deliver. Like introduction and conclusion are very interesting. But Yana, can you please look at your first top supporting sentence? Don't be pessimistic or saying anything. Do you say saying or say? Like don't say anything or don't be saying anything. What do you think?
Don't say.
What do you think? Don't be saying or don't say anything.
Don't say.
Thank you. Okay. Scroll down. If you're a native person, okay, continue. Mostly, Yana, when you write a paragraph, we have things we call parallelism. Like all the time you mention interviewers as a plural noun, right? But there's one time when you said a singular one in your last main point. Last, don't interrupt. Like, like check your last main idea. Earlier, Main had all his interview as a singular noun, so they all fine. But for you, you mentioned all plural, but then you say let the interviewer, let go further. Interviewer, right?
Yes.
There should be also plural noun right there. And we don't say end, we say finish. Like finish what they are saying.
Oh.
They are.
Yeah. And last line, one more line may help me think. Interrupting is regarded as impolite. As is a preposition. Do we put adjective or noun behind as? Like I regarded you as my brother or my sister. Behind preposition, can we use adjective or a noun?
Noun.
Noun. But for this case, Janelle, we don't use regarded, we use considered. So interrupting is considered impolite. Normally, regarded, you regard someone, not an action. So considered impolite. And in writing, sometimes you avoid using adverb in front, like the adverb actually, because actually is a little informal. So you can just say generally, something like that. But if you want to, you can also delete it. Just say there are many, blah blah. That's also fine. But actually, it's very informal. That adverb, you should not put that in your academic writing. There's another way. Okay.
So, regarding mean relate, right?
It has different meaning. It depends on what subject do you use. Like the article regarding something is relating to. Okay. But if it is regarded, it means something else.
What is it then?
Like if I say it, he is regarded as a boss, for example.
I mean, appreciate, right? Admire.
Mostly in this sentence you mean like everyone think he is a boss and yes, admire him as a boss. So it's different. Okay, all good. Please send your edited file to me. So this is what you should do for your first assignment. Okay, I told you on Tuesday already how to get there, like what's the topic, what are the steps. So follow what we practiced today and produce your assignment as good as this one. Thank you, Yana. Let's go continue. Okay, so on Tuesday we discussed where is my thing? We discussed the interview, right? Like what things you should do and what you should not do in your interview. So let's watch this short clip and I want you to notice what's going on in this interview. Okay, right here. So interviewing professional versus unprofessional. So professional is main topic, the next unprofessional topic. So we're looking at first impression section. So let's watch and see what they want us to point out. So you need to watch the clip and decide how many unprofessional behaviors can you identify. And you can think back to our reading just on Tuesday and compare to this one.
So I can't hear.
Hang on. Can you hear Yana?
No.
No, that's strange. Let me fix. It's like the highest volume already because I hear it very loud. Hang on. Let's test again. What about now?
Yes.
Okay. CC or no CC? No CC.
CC.
Hey, how are you? Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi, Jess. I love that name. Awesome. Go ahead and have a seat. Okay. Well, we're excited to have you here today and excited to get to know you a little bit. Sorry, it's a little bit late. Really sorry about that. We're glad you're here now. Thanks. So we're going to go ahead and ask a series of questions. Adam and I are going to take turns. We're going to hand the question to you so you have a chance to read through it. Okay. Take your time, answer the question thoroughly, and we'll go ahead and get started. How many questions are there? There's usually about 6 questions.
Now, what position was this? What was the title?
This was for a administrative assistant position.
Oh, no. I must be in the wrong place.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Would you like us to tell you a little bit about the position? This is what we.
Boy, I really had a rough morning. The kids, they just would get up this morning. The dog would not come in. Working here is a real challenge. Do you like working here?
Oh, okay.
So looking back to our reading, what do you think? Like, what are the mistakes she made? You two can share because one's positive and is negative, same thing. So what are her mistakes? Start
She
off.
was late.
She was late, so she was not punctual, like main topic. And then?
No eye contact.
She made no eye contact, so she was not positive, like main again. Did she pay attention and give respect to her interviewers? Like
No.
she hold a coffee, she just like drank her coffee, look at her phone, stuff like that. So do you think she will get her job?
Probably.
Probably.
No.
No.
Okay. Anyway, do you think she looked confident?
Yes.
But she might look, what is that thing? Oh,
Overreact.
overly confident. She looked too
Oh.
confident. Like she believed that she was in the wrong position. She believed she was more qualified than the position that they are interviewing her. So she might not get her job. So right now we'll watch the professional behaviors, which it's the same person, but look how much she has changed. And she even was chewing gum.
You noticed that?
Uh-huh. What does fidget mean? Fidgeting with her phone. So fidget is a verb. It's
Okay.
like here's your phone. You keep doing this, like spin it, you touch it, you check it. That's called fidget. Like that. And you play with it, touch it all the time. It's called fidget. Like if you're standing, fidgeting, like you like doing this, like touching your finger. You don't stand still. Like you move around left or right. That's when you're standing fidgeting. Okay. And she did not prepare as well. Like May said, you should be prepared, but she was unprepared. Like she didn't know the questions. And negative comment like Gana's topic. So she did not just share personal interest, she overshared it. So over here means
Too much.
too much. Her kids, her dog and stuff. All right, professional first impression. Let's see if our tips from our article fit with this one.
Good morning. Hi, how are you? Hi, my name's Dawn. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Dawn. I'm Jessie.
Hi,
Nice to
Jessie.
meet you. Have a seat.
Thank you.
We're excited to have a chance to get to know you a little bit more and learn about your background and experiences.
I'm excited to be here.
We are going to take turns, Adam and I, asking questions, and we've got a set of questions here that we are going to hand out to you just prior to asking. And take your time, read through the question and answer it. And we'll go ahead and get started. Wonderful. Thank you.
So it's the same person. How much has she changed? Did she come late now?
No.
No.
Did she like shout at the interviewer, or did she hold her cup of coffee inside the room?
No.
Did she look prepared or unprepared?
Prepared.
Prepared.
Very good. So let's check. Good posture. Okay, straight. So she had good posture, like sitting. Okay. So far, so good, everyone. That's just a short clip to review our last article.
So what is the word portrait?
Which one?
That's
Portrait. Portrait means express or show. Portray is a verb, you add ed, becomes past tense. Okay. Attentive. What is attentive?
Attentive.
From a noun, attend what?
Attention.
Yes, attention. Like you are paying attention, you are attentive. Both are correct. All right, did you guys watch the grammar video in our My class? Can you help like briefly explain to me what we mean by conditional sentences of present and future? May, do you watch it? Yes, okay. Jana want to share, or who want to share? Both of you.
They talking about the zero condition and first condition.
Okay, hang on, let me type. So we have we have real conditionals. We have zero and first. So May, what is the difference between the two on?
The difference is their structure.
Mm-hmm.
The zero condition they use for express the habit truth.
Mm-hmm.
For the
What else?
Repeated action.
Hmm?
Repeated action.
Oh, repeated, yes.
That's a habit already. Same thing on. Anything else? Okay, what do we use it with? What's the form I mean? If
If plus
present
Present
simple.
present simple. Come on. Present simple.
Okay, very good. What about the first conditional?
Let's talk about the future.
About
pre-
what?
Like the thing that will happen in the future.
Let's say possibility. Anything else? Or just one?
Just one.
Okay, and the form is if plus
Present simple.
future tense.
Subject. That's one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's conditional in general, but if you check our textbook, they also said something about if and when, right? And that's what I gave you in our practice. So they said, do you watch to that part where they said that you can also replace if with when or whenever? So when or whenever can replace if in conditional, but slightly different in meaning again.
I don't see any like video talks about this one.
How to use
Because it's not in the video, it's extra. So if we say if in Khmer, what do we mean by if?
Present one.
Present bar. So if you say if, mostly you give condition, right? Conditions to the possibility or result. So let's say without if, you know what if clause is, right?
yes.
Okay. So if you use if, you kind of suggest this meaning that you give conditions to the possibilities, and without the if clause, there is no result clause. If clause has to happen for result clause to happen. That's if we use if. It's related to one another. But if you use when or whenever, no condition, where's my bracket? Okay. The next sentence, the next sentence doesn't depend on the when clause. And it expresses something that generally happens. If I pull this, I can't write anymore. Okay. Let's look at two examples for you to know the extra difference. If I say if it rains, it will be flooded versus whenever it rains, the roads are flooded. Or if he comes home early, he has dinner. When he comes home, he has dinner. So if you check the four pair of sentences, that's A, B, B. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, look at pair A. If it rains, it will be flooded. So if we base on if again, our short difference here, this thing is what we call the on.
Possibility. Like can happen and can.
Yes, what we call this.
Result clause.
Yes. So in conditional sentences, there are two parts. We've got if clause in the front.
Result.
This is called if clause, okay? Very good. And this is called result clause, which means the two are linked together. This will not happen if this does not happen. If has to happen for result clause to happen, like if he likes me, I will blah, 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 for example. But if we change, if he doesn't like me, result clause will also change itself. That's the difference. But when you use when or whenever, you just mean something in general. There's no condition. You, yourself, the speaker, does not express condition in that sentence. You just say something in general. Like for pair B, sometimes he might come home late most of the time. Like if you did my practice I gave you in my class, there is always a sentence in front, right, to express something. Like
yes.
if the thing happen every day, you use when. If the things really happen, you use if. It has condition. Like if you remember the car sentence, like he has a car. His car breaks down very often. And then he said blah blah blah. Do we say if or when?
Often. Really? So if.
When?
Oh.
Let's go to our class to see. Easier. Let's see, have it here. Here, you can see extra explanation here as well. Okay, so conditionals sometimes express single occurrence as well. So it needs condition. If X happens, then Y happens. But if it becomes a routine, general thing, you can say when or whenever. See, that's the difference. Anytime this happens, this happens. See, anytime X happens, Y happens. This is X, this is Y. You can use if, whenever, or when to replace one another, but in some sentences, you cannot use when to replace if. That's the difference. One is condition, one is just like routine. It will always happen. Okay, let's see. Oh, something happened. I can't go. Can Yana go to your own? To yours? I can't go to mine. It's like something happened. Or May, let's go to yours. I think Yana did hers already. May, can you share your screen? So we can both share your screen to my class, please. Thank you. So remember the small difference between the two. Don't forget. Sometimes they are replaceable, sometimes no. By the way, Yana, where do you have your braces done? What dentist?
The clinic is called Smile Every Day.
In the city, right?
Yes.
So you have to come to the city every time you have your appointment?
Appointment every month.
Every month. When's your next appointment?
24 this month.
I have mine next week, Saturday.
To do the adjustment?
Yes, normally we change wire monthly, right?
Yes. And the color of the rubber?
No, I don't use rubber, I use diamond, so they all metal, my tongue. Like right now I have the composite inside my upper teeth, like they put something like inside my mouth like this. So I speak extremely unclear now.
Me too.
Inside. Scroll down, May on to the up. Yeah, here. Type in your name and your email. So we can see the questions together. Let me move our. Huh? Down.
We go to the video.
No, practice. Yes, the way, yes.
On my email.
What's your email? Okay, let's go. So only 1 minute for each question. We'll go quickly, so I can tell this one. Okay, this one. I am always on time. Is this if or when? It's not a routine.
Routine?
It's not, because you are always on time. You just have a hypothesis.
If?
Yes, very good. If, continue. You know what hypothesis means, right? Hypothesis. Hypothesis like you are right now in the province, but you say if you are in the city, like in Khmer we say son of mud, right? Because person ba like bà kêu mau late, mấy khang ngày, like that. Chẳng nhưng mà đang mau late thì. See, it's not when, because the next sentence explains that you are never late. So it's just the hypothesis, it's just a condition. It's not your routine to come late. It's just your hypothesis. Oh, next. We can't see, we cannot see. Hang on. Okay. This one, there is no extra sentence, but it suggests that you usually go to the gym. And of course, you always leave work, right? You don't say, if I leave work. You don't live in the company. You don't work 24 hours a day. So, does the result clause depend on depend on the front clause?
No.
No. So, if or when or both?
When?
You cannot say if because you as a worker, you always leave your work at the end of the day. So the two clauses do not depend on each other. It's just your routine.
Right.
One last one on before that's for main to do it. This one, if we say if he eats, that means sometimes he doesn't eat. What should we say?
Sometimes.
I think you're not put if, right?
Yes.
Think of the sentence. If we say if I eat, I will choose healthy food. That means normally I don't eat. So
When?
what's the answer? When? Okay, May, you will do the rest yourself, okay? That's it.
Stop sharing
Clear.
it.
Thank you. You can close it first now before the time runs out. All right, any other questions for our grammar? Clear? Cool? Done?
Teacher, can I do that again? Like I want to
Sure.
do it again.
Use our explanation I gave today earlier and do it again to see how many right answers you get after I explain. And the questions in our book are very simple. Just do yourself. On page number 24, there's nothing like critical. Just put in the form. So any questions before we have a short break, then go to the next book, listening and speaking skills.
Not
And
yet.
not yet. Okay, I think you watched the video already, right? The video of note-taking skills. You've completed the vocab as well. Everything is
On
done.
my class website.
Yes.
Listen 8. Oh yes, done.
Okay, so I'll give you a short break. We'll resume our class at 7, so we can start a new textbook. 8 minutes. So come back 7. Okay, May?
Yes.
Okay, come back 7. I'll see you soon.
See you.
See you. You can do the practice or watch the video in the break. Don't go somewhere too far.
Right.
So same thing in this textbook. In this unit, we will also cover first impression again, but in form of listening and speaking format. So first thing first, let's discuss this. Where's my mic? Okay, right here. So assume that you've seen someone for the first time. What do you look at the first time you've met them? Their clothes, their
Face.
personality, their face, their hairstyles, or what? Okay, let me share first. So to me, it depends on if I meet a guy or a girl. So normally, if it's the same sex, like a girl, I normally look at her hair, and her clothes. Or sometimes if you see her hair color, you might believe that she has this personality. For example, like if her hair is in like, let's say, bright pink or in like purple or in blue, I will predict her like that she has this kind of personality. And her clothes also can give away like what she might, behave in public, like swaggy clothes or like professional clothing, stuff like that. That's what I will look at for a girl. For a guy, same thing. I look at his hairstyle, like like you can tell if a guy has a job. Like not you can tell, but to me, I choose a hairstyle to define if that guy is working or still a student. So I know how to like interact with the person. And the shoes, importantly. That's me. It can be different. Like some guys wear flip-flops, some wear sneakers, some wear boots. Like it gives out different image. That's what I look at when I first see people.
You pick the strong spot that show the personality of them.
You can tell like if the guy wears flip-flop,
Yeah.
normally he's kind of like, what's the word, like
Unemployment.
Not managed.
unemployed,
Unemployed.
unemployed, and kind of like still like like a teenager, like still
Kids.
spend their parents' money. But if he wears sneakers, he might be a college student. No,
Oh,
you cannot. That's how I look at people. What May? What do you look at? Let's say, what do you notice? What do you notice when you first meet, let's say, a girl? Like you meet someone in a coffee shop in front of you. What do you notice?
I noticed their face. Yeah.
Makeup or no makeup, or like lipstick or something?
All.
Why their face? You want to see if she wears makeup or not, or something? Why? Did you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Why their face?
It's no. I didn't notice whether they have makeup or not because I can tell that. I can tell with the makeup.
So why would you look at their face to help you with their personality or something?
I just feel that I can tell their personality through their face, eyes, through their eye. I mean.
Oh, through their eyes. And then they wear sunglasses.
Sure.
Okay, then that's a girl, right? So you notice their face first.
Yep.
Yana, what do you notice when you first meet a guy? Let's say when you first met May last Tuesday. What do you notice? First impression towards May on Tuesday last week.
it is.
His teeth?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like seriously, there's one thing, May, because you're not wearing braces. Like for us, like we wear braces. So first thing we look at people right now are their teeth. Like you have very straight teeth, very good ones. Like mine are really crooked. So his teeth, why his teeth?
Like it's not like others.
What?
Why?
Really?
No.
Like I've seen his profile. Like it's kind of different.
Oh yeah, so different. Like May's profile on Telegram when you were sitting on a rock in the waterfall area. What do you think, Yana? Before I tell what I think about May when I first saw his picture.
I don't see anything because the picture is kind of blurred. It's not clear.
Too far away.
Yes.
But judging by his clothing and the way of him like taking pictures, what do you think? Like honestly, I thought May was let's say an early adult, like 20-ish, like 23 or something, and like had a mature personality, like in Chatom. I didn't know May was this young, just because he wore this hat, the baggy hat, and like he sat on the rock. It just gave off that image, like not still one. That's what I meant. I mean, it's very young. See, like impression. It's very different. Okay, so let's assume a guy in general. You were at a coffee shop, and there's a guy in front of you. What do you look at?
The jawline.
Oh, why jawline?
Like it's cool. I don't know. Like
the 90
not
degree.
only me, my friend also.
The 90 degree.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually noticeable. But jawline, can you use jawline to determine the person's personality?
No, I think.
No, May? Do you think so? No, May is busy. Do you think jawline helps explain personality, like a person with like
So can I go out real quick?
yeah, sure. Like a person with like 90-degree jawline, like you will think he is a serious person, he is this kind of a person. Have you ever thought about that?
No, I just think like he's handsome.
Ấy, nhà nè. Handsome hot nè. Hai nè.
Maybe too much K-drama.
Oh, mostly guys in K-drama have okay jawline, but they have very sharp nose. Like if you enjoy watching or looking at jawlines, watch on Hollywood on. They have very like sharp jawlines, like extremely sharp. So like breathtaking.
Like for my friends, like if they see like a guy with a shirtless and an ab, like their nose will bleed. We don't say much about personality. We just like handsome or not.
Yeah, that's why
I have to turn off my alarm.
okay,
Wait.
go. Nhâm. Okay, now it's coming back. So we were discussing jawline main earlier. That's why.
I think jawline represent their handsome. Yep.
But do you think they have personality? Depend on their jawline. They might be serious if they have a sharp jawlines. Oh no, it's just their looks, appearance.
Maybe their looks.
So do you believe? So I think all of us judge people by their appearance first, right? That is why some people care about their like makeup or not makeup, about their hairstyle, their skin color, their teeth, because all of us judge each other by appearance, and personality comes next. Because you
I don't judge like their personality if he is a good person or not. Like if I see a boy, I just look at that. Like no judgment.
Jawline. Just jawline and main face. Just face. Yeah. So is there any proverbs that you used to hear that talk about first impression, like judging people? There should be one, right?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's like your first impression. Like when you first see someone, don't judge the person yet. Like they might dress like a swaggy person, but actually inside they are soft and emotional individual, maybe. Or in Khmer, our proverb, do we have anything that we have been using to judge someone that we don't know? Proverbs in Khmer that we sometimes use to judge people that we are not really accustomed with or we haven't met before.
Một sáng mình chờ được I don't know.
And then after, like you saw the person looking very handsome and beautiful, but the reality he or she is bad. That's after. Like have you ever?
ល្អក្រៅអាលួយក្នុង is that I don't know.
Like any idea?
No.
That thing that start with the word chơ something.
Chơ cao. Chơ cao cho thơ cong. Thơ
con ấy.
No, chơ cao mua.
No.
Yes, there's one. Chơ cao mua pot.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yes.
That's what chơ with thơ cong. Chơ trăng is something else. But this one, like we say chơ cao mua pot and then menu chặt pot cùng nhựa khuôn biệt. Familiar with that? Like, let's say, sorry, my dog's barking. Hang on.
Maybe the ghost is outside. Cannot hear.
Okay. Downstairs, walking downstairs, not upstairs. I can see the bag.
Oh.
Mostly that proverb suggests that loud. If you don't know the person before, do not become their friends. Do not trust them. That's what that proverb means. Like មនុស្សប្រវត្តិ But sometimes it's accurate. Sometimes it's not accurate. You know. Because in our society, we do not want to associate with someone who we never know before, and we believe are just some homeless or random people. We don't become their friend, for example. But it might not be right, or it might be right. We never know, because proverbs are just saying, and it can be both accurate or not accurate. Okay, so have you completed a video of note-taking skills?
You told us to watch lesson 7 and 8, right?
Yes.
But complete the unit, and I saw the following unit. It is stated that unit 2, and we are starting unit 1, so I didn't do that.
Me too.
Hey, no worry. Here, where's the video?
Oh, teacher, can I go to another website? Like I have to go to that website and log in to take the attendance, because I have 2 class conflict time. Just a moment.
We'll wait here. Like here, I put unit 2, but unit 1 after that. So unit 1, LS, listening and speaking, and then this is the title, and this is your vocab to complete, and a video to watch. So we can skip the video, you can watch later, but I'll just ask you random questions, like how do you take notes when you do listening? Before we watch the video, how do you take notes?
Go through the instruction.
Let's say you have no questions paper, you just need to take notes.
Okay.
Take notes.
Use abbreviation.
Okay, abbreviation. Do you take notes of everything in the listening?
No, just the important point.
Just important part, like what are the important parts?
What are the important parts?
Main idea.
Main idea of the listening.
Yeah.
What else? So main idea, and normally with main idea we also have supporting ideas or details, right?
Yes.
So you can watch this at home, but we'll practice the listening skills today. All right. Okay, save. Let's create a new one. So we'll listen to a oh, that's so loud downstairs. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So we'll listen to a audio about first impression. First thing first, I want you to take notes to all the important information that you might hear from the audio. Use your tips, your own style of note-taking skills, and I'll ask questions after the listening to see how much information we get from the listening. That's how we can test your note-taking skills. To see if your note will help you answer the questions or not. Paper ready?
Yes.
All right. I'll upload this listening MP3 to our class later, but for now you listen together here. Ready, Yon?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me if it's not loud enough. Let me share the audio first.
Listening 1. Activity A.
Okay. The volume?
Yes.
Okay.
First impressions don't tell the whole story. Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. As promised, I'm going to talk about how we form first impressions and how they work. We all form impressions of other people every day. So picture this. You're waiting in line at your favorite coffee shop. The line is long, but it's moving quickly. The person in front of you in line is complaining about the wait. He's loud and rude. He makes comments about the service and the employees. When he finally gets to the counter, he yells at the person who takes his order. You assume, this is not a nice person, and you hope you never meet him again. From this short encounter, you have formed an impression of this person. You were with him only briefly, but you may think you know a lot about him. One mistake people often make in forming first impressions is to think that a small example of someone's behavior can give us a complete picture of the person. If you see a friendly, smiling young woman taking your order at the coffee shop, you may think she is friendly and smiling all of the time. In addition to thinking she is always friendly, you may also think she has other positive traits. This is the second error people often make. Because she is friendly, you assume that she is also intelligent, happy, and good to her parents. Of course, the opposite is also true. The rude customer in front of you in the coffee line did not make a good impression on you. You saw an example of his poor behavior, his rudeness, and you assumed he had other negative traits. You thought, this is not a nice person. Okay, so if our first impression of someone is positive, we think the person is always that way, and we think that all of her traits are positive. We think that small sample of behavior shows us her true personality. But we don't think that way about our own behavior. Let me explain what I mean. When we see someone else acting in a negative way, we think it is because he is a negative person. But when we act in a negative way, we say it is because of the situation. Let's go back to the coffee shop again. If I am rude to the person taking my coffee order, I will find reasons for my bad behavior. The service is too slow, my mother is very sick, or my boss just yelled at me. In other words, when I act badly, I think it's because of the situation, not because I'm a bad person. But if another customer is rude, I don't look for reasons. I think it is his personality. In other words, he acted badly because he is not a nice person. First impressions can tell us a lot. They help us make sense of new information and form relationships with new people. But as you can see, we can make errors, so sometimes we need to take a second look.
What have you got?
We have 2 errors.
We have 2 errors in first impression. Okay, what else? May want to share your notes a little bit? So what was her main topic that she wanted to discuss in her lecture? Like she said in the first sentence.
First impression don't tell the whole story.
That's her like first introduction, and then she said today I want to talk about blah, blah, blah.
Or how it work and form.
Very good. How we form first impressions and how they work. And Gana said we have 2 errors. What are the errors you get?
Like the second one, like if like take the small example and then assume that their behavior is like that.
What else?
Like give a complete picture.
Okay, what else?
Oh, like for example, like for me, if I did the bad things, bad action, so I have my own reason, like it's because the situation. But for other people's. Like I think that is his or her behavior.
Okay, May, let's share your note a little bit.
Just like her.
Okay, so that's another error, right? So number one, you think that small thing people make is their personality. Number two, if it's you yourself, you have reason, like Yana said. If you do that bad thing, you have your reason. But if someone else does the same thing, you think it's their personality. Okay? Want to listen to the second time before we complete exercises in the book, or it's enough?
Second time.
Second time, but do not open your book. Use your note only. So let's see if you can use your note to do the exercises in the book. That's your note-taking skill. May, are you free on, or you're busy today? You act like this.
That's okay.
It's okay?
I want to go early because my that car assistant, right? My assistant's mother sick, so I need to take her to her house.
Your mother's assistant
Yes.
is sick. Is she living far away from your house?
Yeah.
How far?
10 kilometers away.
Oh, it's almost Thailand. Maybe you can. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. One more time, and use your note. May, you can stay on. It's almost time anyways. It's 7:30 already. You can leave it like, let's say 10 minutes first, maybe. Again.
Unit 1. Listening 1. Activity A.
First impressions don't tell the whole story. Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. As promised, I'm going to talk about how we form first impressions and how they work. We all form impressions of other people every day. So picture this. You're waiting in line at your favorite coffee shop. The line is long, but it's moving quickly. The person in front of you in line is complaining about the wait. He's loud and rude. He makes comments about the service and the employees. When he finally gets to the counter, he yells at the person who takes his order. You assume, this is not a nice person, and you hope you never meet him again. From this short encounter, you have formed an impression of this person. You were with him only briefly, but you may think you know a lot about him. One mistake people often make in forming first impressions is to think that a small example of someone's behavior can give us a complete picture of the person. If you see a friendly, smiling young woman taking your order at the coffee shop, you may think she is friendly and smiling all of the time. In addition to thinking she is always friendly, you may also think she has other positive traits. This is the second error people often make. Because she is friendly, you assume that she is also intelligent, happy, and good to her parents. Of course, the opposite is also true. The rude customer in front of you in the coffee line did not make a good impression on you. You saw an example of his poor behavior, his rudeness, and you assumed he had other negative traits. You thought, this is not a nice person. Okay, so if our first impression of someone is positive, we think the person is always that way, and we think that all of her traits are positive. We think that small sample of behavior shows us her true personality. But we don't think that way about our own behavior. Let me explain what I mean. When we see someone else acting in a negative way, we think it is because he is a negative person. But when we act in a negative way, we say it is because of the situation. Let's go back to the coffee shop again. If I am rude to the person taking my coffee order, I will find reasons for my bad behavior. The service is too slow, my mother is very sick, or my boss just yelled at me. In other words, when I act badly, I think it's because of the situation, not because I'm a bad person. But if another customer is rude, I don't look for reasons. I think it is his personality. In other words, he acted badly because he is not a nice person. First impressions can tell us a lot. They help us make sense of new information and form relationships with new people. But as you can see, we can make errors, so sometimes we need to take a second look.
Okay. Enough?
Yes.
Good. So use your note. Go to page number 8, exercise C, D, and E. So use your note and complete the questions. Again, section C, if it's false, correct the mistake as well. Section E, make sure you have your explanation, support your argument from your notes. Why did you choose that answer? So C, D, E. Done. Oh, why are you guys laughing? Did you hear my dog barking again or something?
No.
Okay, let's check the answer. Remember, you need to get yourself ready to explain why you chose a certain answer. Let's go to section C, true, false, main favorites. I love this question so much, true, false. Number, no, one has been done for you already. Number 2, if a person is happy with a blah, true or false from your note?
True.
Yana?
Yes, same.
Same, both of you got the right answer, very good, but where did she say that?
Where? Like at the coffee shop?
And if you see a girl who is friendly, accepting your order, smiling, happy, you assume that she is also intelligent and she is a positive person. Is that right? Your note?
A nice positive trait.
Very good. Number 3, true or false?
False.
If false, why? Where is the mistake?
Because
We may want to share.
Didn't say that.
Okay. One of you please share the answer. Why false? What
It's
is
only the first line. They say that first impression don't tell the whole story.
It only gives us what?
only the part of the story.
Very good. So don't, just add don't. Nice. Last one, we judge other people's behavior differently from our own.
Yes.
True.
True. All right, let's go to section D. Number 1, main. What's your answer? A, B, C.
B.
Main says B, Yana. What's your answer?
A.
A. Main, where's your proof? B, why? And Yana, get your answer ready as well, your explanation. Why A?
Because like if a person is happy when we met her, we will often think she is happy at time.
And you think that means make sense. So people make sense of information from what they see in a first encounter. Are you sure?
No, I'm just guessing.
Okay, just guessing. Yeah, now what's your evidence?
Because in the audio she said we have two errors that we often mix.
Actually, thank you. From the audio, she also said something about make sense of information, but she used first impressions as a subject. So first impressions make sense. Let me see my note. I take note too. Yeah. So she said that first impressions help us make sense of the information. So it's first impression, not people make sense. So the answer is A. Very good. People often make mistakes about what they see in a first encounter, like you assume stuff. What do we mean by assume? What is the meaning of assume? Hang on, pause. Assume, A-S-S-U-M-E, it means you did the exercise.
So it means like if we assume something, like we think
assume.
like if we assume if we assume something, it means like we believe that it is true.
Yeah.
Thank you. Or another word is like you conclude things by yourself. Like if you see someone wearing short skirts, you think she is like a gangster, for example. That's your assumption. Thank you. Number 2, Yana, what's your answer? A, B, C.
C.
Thank you. May, what's your answer?
C.
Very good. Number 3, May.
Friendly.
Friendly, Yana, same answer.
Yes. A.
Thank you. Number 4, back to Yana.
A.
May, same answer.
A2.
Last one, A, B, C.
B.
B.
B. Section E. How many information or statements did you check? 1 or 2?
2.
May 2 or 1?
3.
3. Okay. May pick one of the statements that you check and explain. Why do you think the author or the lecturer agrees with that statement? You can pick one and explain why do you think that she agrees. From what point in her lecture did you use to support your answer?
Can I speak now? I pick number 1. If a stranger behaves rudely, you may assume he isn't intelligent. Based on the track, they say that if their first impression is bad, so the negative trait will come into our head too, that he is bad.
Okay, that's your support.
Yep.
Very good, May. Thank you very much. Yana, what's your statement?
I tick number 2.
Okay, explain.
Because like she said, like we have.
Hang on. Remember your statement. Make sure that the lecturer agrees with that statement. If she disagrees, it's not a statement that you should check. Does she agree with that first impressions are really accurate, or sometimes they are accurate?
Sometimes.
So do you think she agrees or no?
No.
No. She didn't say anything about that. She just said look twice. So number 2, no. Back to May. What's your other statement? Maybe Yana can answer first. Yana didn't get the right answer yet. Thank you, May. It's fine. Because Yana earlier got the wrong answer. Let's hear her choose another answer. Because you got one right answer already. Yana, what's your other answer?
Number 3.
Explain.
Because like she said, like for us, like if we did bad thing, like we said, like it's because like today I don't feel good or my boss yelled at me.
Like you have excuses to back up your own behavior, but if it is other person's behavior, no. Okay, thank you. So we finished the note-taking skills listening, but do you have any words that you don't know from the audio tracks? You should have everything in your practice if you have done it, but any other extra words that you might not know and need explanation. You can check first, check your note maybe that you have taken notes. What do we mean by the word trait? T-R-A-I-T. She mentioned that a lot, trait.
I think it is similar to characteristic.
I don't know, May, what's your idea? Let's hear from both of you first before I answer. Like you mentioned in your explanation earlier on, May, you said negative trait.
I understand that way, but I can't tell.
Explain. What in Khmer? Can you explain in Khmer? What do we mean by trait in Khmer in our language?
No.
Tumno is trend.
Trend.
Trend is tumno. T-R-E-N-D is tumno. Trend.
Traits.
Like sometimes we say personality trait.
Personality trait. Can you make a sentence?
You said earlier yourself, like when you see someone behave negatively, you think the person has a negative trait in them. That's your homework.
Check the dictionary.
Yep. Because this one we have in our classroom already, the exercises, the matching definition, you should know, don't worry. Let's go through the exercise at the back real quick together to test how much you understand the vocab. So we've got 10 sentences and 10 gaps, and we have the words in the box on the top. Let's go through this quickly and decide which word goes where in the blanks. I think it's very similar or actually the same to the one I put in our classroom, but just as a review for this one to test if you know all the keywords in this unit. So we have the verb assume, behavior, briefly, encounter, error, form and impression, negative, positive, sample and trait. Number one, blah, blah, I took A or N. So pay attention to the articles. They always come before nouns. So this one, if you see article, always choose a noun. But if you see article and then a noun at the back, it should be adjective in the gaps. That's how you can narrow down the choices in the exercise. So number one, A or N, what should go to this gap? Noun or verb or adjective?
Noun.
Noun. Number two, several.
Noun too.
Noun two, very good. Number three, I, blah, blah, blah. Verb. Number four, very.
Adjective.
Adjective. There.
Noun.
Noun. Thank you. Very good. Number six, two.
Verb.
Of course, verb. Seven, we have sing. Noun after.
Adjective.
Adjective. Eight.
Trait.
I asked noun or verb. Trait name. Number nine.
Noun.
Last one.
Noun too.
Noun. So when you know this kind of like information, you can narrow down the answer. So number one, what's the answer do you think?
Sample.
Very good, sample. Number two, several.
Error.
Errors. Should we add S or no S?
S.
S.
Three,
Assume.
assume, ed or not ed?
ED.
Maybe past tense because it's last night, said. Number four,
Positive.
in this one we made a mistake. Look at behind very, we have a blank and we have a full stop. We only spent about 15 minutes on it. 15 minutes. So I still have some questions.
Briefly?
Yes, briefly. Briefly means a little bit, not everything.
Yeah.
Very good. 5. I watched there.
Behavior.
Behavior.
Yes. Behavior.
The form an impression.
Oh, form and impression is phrase or verb. It's a verb. So it's a noun you said earlier, right, May?
Yes.
So your answer was right, May. A behavior. Very good. 6. 2 plus verb earlier. We have verb assume. We used already. Cross it out. Only one more verb, and that is phrase or verb earlier.
Form an impression.
Yeah. PHR means phrase or verb or phrase. This one has a verb plus noun. It means phrase or verb. So phrase or verb to form an impression. 7. Negative. Very good. 1 negative thing. Blah blah. Number 8. May answered already. Personality trait. Number 9.
Have a positive feeling.
Very good. Positive feeling. And last one.
Negative. Oh.
Encounter.
Encounter is equal to meet as a noun or meeting. Encounter. Okay, let's have a fun discussion before we end today. We have 2 questions to discuss, and the second one we discussed since the first start already, like you form a negative impression of someone, but turns out the person is very friendly, like Yana had that impression with your like something. I had that too with my best friend. So let's discuss number 1. So the speaker says that we often think that the way a person behaves when we first meet him is the way he behaves all the time. From your experience, do you agree or disagree? So you see the person from the first time and then you see that he behaves negatively. You think he's a negative person. Do you agree? You can think first before you share. To me, personally, yes. I sometimes jump into conclusion really fast that especially if I see person outside, like in a restaurant, for example, or like on the street, like if I see the person like play the music very loudly in the car or something, it comes outside, I assume that he is very annoying. So I honestly agree with the lecturer because I do that too. It's really bad, trust me. Don't do that, especially when you like become friend with the person at the end of the day, and then you have this guilty feeling. So one fun fact: I used to teach a group of students that was like 4 years ago. My students. So at first, I met them in the exam invigilation. I never did it before. I met them. I went to their class and I patrolled their class in the final exam. I'm sorry. I got choked on my own saliva. And there was this one student who behaved so rudely, like she was really, really rude to me, honestly. So I thought she's really rude. Like honestly, she's a rude person. Like all the teachers must hate her so much because she was so rude. And you know what's so funny? Like I assumed she was a good student, and then after like 3 months, she became my student. That's when I realized she's actually a sweet person. That was just her like one-time personality because she was stressed with her exam. That's why she behaved like that. She was rude because she was stressed at that time. And she wanna ask questions, but she was too pressured, so she didn't like filter her way of speaking. She just let it all out. But she's actually very sweet. So I personally agree with the statement because I do that all the time. What about you? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, too. Any example from your experience, real life, like me?
Yes. I had one classmate, like he, and we used to like be in a group, and he didn't do anything like that time. All the presentation he didn't do anything at all, and I just did his part and told him like, to do the intro part and the final part. That his job. That was his job. That's it. And then I don't like him. Like I assume that maybe he is not a good person. Like when I explain him the lecture, he just say, he always say fuck you in like just fuck you. I don't know why he say that. I don't, and at the end of the semester, and when I was in that's time I was a freshman, and then when I was a sophomore, I had like tutor. I joined the tutor group. Is it
Tutoring group.
tutor? Yes, tutoring group. And then I met him. Like he was my student. I have to teach him English, and like it's hard. Like, but he was so focused, and I was amazed by that. And he was so like kind of a good student, like suddenly, and I felt bad.
I know, I felt bad too. Any thing to share, May, so far? Like us, like we have this experience of like touching people immediately. What about you? Any experience so far? Same thing, you judge someone immediately by their one action, and you think that's their personality trait.
Again, please.
Question number 1 on in the book, page 10. So we often think that the way a person behaves when we first meet him is the way he behaves all the time. Do you agree? Or do you judge people in a different way?
I rarely experience this, but I agree with it because we can't tell whether the person is good or not. That is why we need to further notice them.
So you agree as well?
Yes.
Okay. So so far so good. Any questions for today? Today. So your job is to watch all the videos so we can go faster in the next session. And I'll further explain and tell you extra what you need to do. Remember, in this book, we'll just focus on listening and speaking. So we'll be speaking and listening all the time. That's what we focus on in this unit, in this textbook. We also have one grammar point that we will touch. Suffixes.
Suffix.
What do we mean by suffixes?
At the end of the word.
And it changes what?
Change its meaning.
Are you sure it's meaning? We have prefix and
change is part of speech.
Yes, change is part of speech. The one that changed meaning are prefixes on prefix. I'm sorry, my tongue just got stuck in my upper teeth, so it's like very stuttering sometimes. I have to watch my tongue, okay? So forgive me if I stutter sometimes because of this thing inside my mouth. So for the next session on Tuesday, we'll try to touch on another skill of listening and probably finish this since it's just speaking and listening. So on Thursday, we should have a quiz before we move on. So get yourself ready. A quiz, and again, start doing your IQ online, remember? You have only 1 week. It's the deadline of everything. And your assignment, how's it going? You're writing assignment?
Writing assignment.
You forgot?
Oh, the how to?
One more in the book, not the practice on
IQ, right?
Yes, in the IQ. Yes, in the IQ.
Like because I have only 1 day, so I couldn't finish the two two essay.
No, I don't need that now because you will have 1 week to finish everything. But you can start doing now step by step, so you don't need to rush for 1 week. Okay. So we have in writing.
Next Thursday, right? We will have the quiz.
Next week on Thursday. And next week will be your production week as well, after the quiz. You will be speaking, like you will spend a day speaking. After this lesson first, I'll tell you the topic of the speaking. So far, so good. Any questions extra now? Again, what you need to do, how do I make extra notes? Delete this. Okay. So for next session, Tuesday, you have to watch the videos in my class. Spelling. Finish the vocabulary exercises in my class as well. And check the grammar point. We should have 2 auxiliary verb. And suffixes. I'll add extra exercise for you in the class, don't worry. So that's our agenda on Tuesday, and you should also you should start your IQ online so you don't have to rush everything at the end of the day. So start slowly since you have like 3 days, 4 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
So on my class website, we have to finish
the video, so we can just go and discuss the lesson and not spend time on video again.
Only the videos, not all the unit 2.
Unit here on it should be like this because I put 2 in 1. When you come to my class, you'll see this one, right? But I put 1. LS stands for listening and speaking. So you finish this one, you should watch this one. And this one is for later, not now. I will upload this after we finish our book. And this one, and this one, and this one. a lot. But for Tuesday, just watch the video before you come, so we can just discuss. And his quiz is blocked. It's not the day yet. We have a lot. Look at that. Wow. And this is done. Very good. I'll check it later because right now I can go there. I don't know what happened.
So we don't need to send you again.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If I can't find it, you can send to my email or in the Telegram group as well. If I still can't find it tomorrow. But I think I can. I need to just clear some cookies. Any other questions?
I will take a screenshot.
Good. Take a screenshot. I think I can send it to you as well. Especially the previous one with our like summary of everything.
Maybe
Maybe
not yet.
Maybe no problem. You have to go or no?
Yes.
You can go on. It's fine. It's finished anyway. So you need to go like take your mom's assistant home, right? Okay. See you on Tuesday. Bye bye, man.
You goodbye.
Yeah, any other questions or no?
No.
Okay, see you on Tuesday. Have a nice weekend.
Yes, bye-bye, teacher.
Bye bye.